Mr. Charles had it all figured out, or so he thought. At 71, he walked every morning, took his vitamins, ate oatmeal, and even read the Harvard Health Letter over his black coffee. By all appearances, he was a model of senior health. But then it happened. One Sunday morning, while tying his shoes, Charles felt a strange pressure in his chest, not pain, just weight. 15 minutes later, he was in the ER. Diagnosis: early-stage congestive heart failure. His blood work was clean. His EKG showed no arrhythmias. So, what went wrong? His doctor looked him in the eye and said, "It wasn't your genes. It wasn't bad luck. It was your habits." Habits so subtle, so ordinary, that Charles didn't think twice about them. But over time, they had quietly overloaded his heart. And here's the kicker: he's not alone. Recent studies show that nearly 1 in 5 adults over 60 develop silent heart weakening, without ever realizing it. Because some of the most dangerous habits don't feel dangerous at all. That's why we made this video. To uncover the top 5 innocent-seeming habits that might be quietly pushing your heart to its limits. And more importantly, how to replace them with heart-saving rituals that are gentle, effective, and proven to work after 60. If you're over 60, or care about someone who is, type "I'm watching with purpose" in the comments below. Let us know you're part of the 1% choosing strength over decline. And stick around till the end, because we'll also share a 60-second self-test that could reveal hidden heart risk, before it's too late. Ready to change your habits, change your heart, and maybe even change your future? Let's begin with the most surprising habit of all. Let me introduce you to Edith. She's 67. Retired librarian. Sharp as a tack. For the past decade, she started every morning with what she proudly called her heart-healthy breakfast. Oatmeal with skim milk. A slice of whole wheat toast. And a small glass of orange juice. Every single day. Sounds great, right? But a few months ago, Edith began to feel off. Her ankles would swell slightly. She'd get out of breath climbing stairs. Her energy faded faster than before. She assumed it was just aging. But when her cardiologist ran some tests, the diagnosis was clear: early signs of diastolic heart failure. Her heart muscle wasn't relaxing properly between beats. The culprit? Not smoking. Not red meat. It was her breakfast. Here's the twist: the healthy orange juice she drank every morning had over 22 grams of sugar in just one glass, more than a can of soda. Add to that the refined carbs in the toast and the high glycemic impact of the oatmeal, and Edith was unknowingly spiking her blood sugar and insulin every morning. And guess what? Chronic blood sugar spikes are directly linked to arterial stiffness, high blood pressure, and heart attack risk in adults over 60. That healthy breakfast was slowly programming her heart to fail. So we made a few swaps. Instead of juice, she now drinks water with lemon. Instead of toast, she adds flax seeds and berries to her oats. And the result? Her blood pressure normalized. The swelling stopped. And her cardiologist smiled. Comment below, what's your go-to breakfast? And if you're not sure whether it's heart-friendly, drop it below, I'll reply with suggestions. And don't go anywhere, because in the next segment, I'll share a habit that millions of seniors do every night, that may be sabotaging their circulation in silence. Have you ever heard of Thomas? He's 74. A former firefighter. Strong, disciplined, and still walks with a straight back. But every morning, he'd wake up tired, like he'd barely slept. He thought it was just age. But what he didn't know, was that something he did every night, something millions of seniors do, was quietly damaging his heart while he slept. His doctor discovered that Thomas was sleeping in a fully reclined armchair, something he started after back surgery years ago. It felt comfortable. Easy on the joints. But here's the twist. Sleeping in a seated or partially reclined position restricts diaphragmatic breathing, especially in seniors with weakened core muscles. When your diaphragm can't move freely, oxygen delivery decreases. Blood flow slows. And over time, the heart must work harder all night long. The result? Increased blood pressure. Poor circulation. Irregular heart rhythms. This is especially dangerous for anyone already dealing with heart failure, atrial fibrillation, or hypertension, conditions that require optimal nighttime recovery. Worse, studies have shown that chronic shallow breathing during sleep reduces parasympathetic nervous system activity, which is your body's repair mode. Without that, your heart never fully rests. After learning this, Thomas made a change. He shifted back to a flat, supportive mattress, elevated his legs slightly, and added gentle breathing exercises before bed. Within weeks, his energy returned. His blood pressure stabilized. He said, "I didn't realize how much damage was happening, just by sleeping the wrong way." Have you or someone you love been sleeping in a recliner? Let me know in the comments, and if you want, I'll share my full checklist for heart-safe sleep. And keep watching, because next we'll uncover a health snack found in nearly every senior's pantry that's secretly spiking blood pressure and thinning heart walls. Meet Gloria, age 69. A retired librarian, calm, kind, and always carrying a Ziploc bag of snacks in her purse. She called them her healthy bites, almonds with sea salt, dried cranberries, and rice crackers. Better than chips, she'd say with a smile. But Gloria started noticing something strange. Every afternoon, around 2 p.m., her heart would pound faster. She'd feel flushed, a bit dizzy, and unusually tired. Her doctor suggested it might be early hypertension, but her blood pressure readings were inconsistent. Some days are normal. Other days are high. It wasn't until we looked at her snack habits that the puzzle began to fit. You see, most healthy snack packs marketed to seniors are loaded with hidden sodium, added sugars, and refined carbs. Let's break it down. Almonds with sea salt. One handful can contain up to 200 milligrams of sodium, especially if roasted and salted. Dried cranberries. Often coated with added sugar and vegetable oils to preserve shelf life. These spikes in blood glucose, which lead to insulin resistance, are a key factor in heart disease. Rice crackers. Low fiber, high glycemic index, causing blood sugar and pressure spikes without providing satiety. In Gloria's case, this trio of so-called heart-healthy snacks was triggering blood pressure spikes, taxing her adrenal glands, and causing fatigue through sudden sugar drops. That's not heart smart. That's heart sabotage. And here's the kicker, most labels say low-fat, gluten-free, or heart-friendly. But they ignore the hidden sodium and sugar load, especially dangerous for people over 60 managing hypertension or at risk of stroke. We swapped Gloria's snacks for a new combo, raw unsalted walnuts, a couple of dark chocolate-covered blueberries, and a boiled egg mid-afternoon. Within 2 weeks, her 2 p.m. crashes disappeared. Her readings normalized. Her smile came back. Want my top 5 low-sodium, heart-healthy snacks for seniors? Comment "Snack Smart" below, and I'll share my private list. And up next, we tackle a habit that many seniors think is just being polite, but it's silently shortening your lifespan. Don't miss it. Let me introduce you to Marvin, 74 years old. He's the type of man who never misses a sunrise, always has a crisp shirt, and makes the same breakfast every morning: 2 slices of whole wheat toast, a generous smear of peanut butter, and a big glass of orange juice. He called it heart healthy. But his blood pressure told a different story. You see, Marvin had no idea that his morning ritual was silently sabotaging his cardiovascular health. Despite being on medication for hypertension, his numbers stayed stubbornly high. It wasn't until we examined his breakfast routine that the picture became clear. Let's break it down. Peanut butter, especially store-bought kinds, often contains hydrogenated oils and added sugar, both of which are inflammatory and can interfere with blood pressure control. Even the natural labels sometimes sneak in sodium. Whole wheat bread may sound healthy, but most commercial brands are made with refined wheat and added salt. 2 slices can contain up to 300 milligrams of sodium. Orange juice, yes, it's fruit, but it's also pure fructose. A single glass contains up to 21 g of sugar, causing blood sugar spikes that lead to adrenal stress, cortisol spikes, and a corresponding rise in blood pressure. The twist? Marvin wasn't eating fast food. He was doing what every commercial and every label told him was right. But for a senior with high blood pressure and cardiovascular risk, that breakfast was a silent time bomb. Once Marvin swapped his breakfast for an omelette with leafy greens and avocado, paired with herbal tea, his morning headaches vanished. His BP dropped 12 points in a month. And his energy? It's like my brain turned back on, he told me. If you're eating breakfast daily, but still struggle with hypertension, the problem may not be your medication. It may be your morning plate. Comment, "Fix my breakfast," below if you want my senior-friendly breakfast swaps that stabilize blood pressure and boost heart health. And in our final segment, we reveal the habit that's so common, it hides in plain sight, and yet it's the #1 reason many seniors feel worse the more they try to be healthy. There's something I need to share with you. Because it nearly cost one of my closest friends his life. Harold, 76, was the image of discipline. He walked daily, avoided sugar, and drank plenty of water. He even took all his supplements. Fish oil, magnesium, vitamin D, multivitamins, like clockwork. But 6 months ago, Harold collapsed while gardening. No chest pain. No warning signs. Just a sudden blackout. The diagnosis? Silent congestive heart failure. And the cause shocked us both. You see, Harold had developed an over-reliance on supplements instead of food. And while each pill sounded beneficial in isolation, the cumulative effect overloaded his kidneys and altered his electrolyte balance. This led to fluid buildup, irregular heartbeat, and weakened cardiac output. All while thinking he was doing everything right. It's a growing trend, seniors turning to pills before produce, supplements over lifestyle. And while targeted supplements can be life-saving in deficiency, taking too many without real medical guidance becomes a hidden danger, especially for the heart. Some vitamins, like calcium and vitamin D, need precise balance. Others, like iron, can be toxic in excess. And many heart medications interact poorly with supplements like St. John's wort, ginseng, or even high-dose fish oil. So here's the truth, a healthy habit becomes dangerous the moment it replaces awareness. Instead of blindly stacking supplements, Harold could have focused on potassium-rich foods to balance blood pressure. Eaten leafy greens for natural magnesium. Got vitamin D from brief sun exposure or physician-approved doses. Drunk herbal teas for circulation instead of stimulants. And guess what? After we reassessed his supplement routine and prioritized whole foods, Harold didn't just recover, he started walking farther, sleeping deeper, and his cardiologist reduced 2 of his prescriptions. If you're taking more than 3 supplements daily, ask yourself, is this empowering my health or masking imbalance? Comment real food over pills if you're ready to simplify, rebalance, and protect your heart the smart way. Now in our final segment, we'll uncover the invisible force that shapes every single habit, and determines whether you thrive or decline after 60. Let me tell you a quick story about Edna. Edna is 80. She doesn't smoke. She eats well. Walks every morning. Takes her meds. Her numbers, cholesterol, blood pressure, are stable. But Edna still ended up in the ER. One early morning, she fainted while reaching for a mug. The tests? Normal. The doctors? Confused. But one nurse noticed something no one else did. Edna never sat still for more than 5 minutes, but she also never rested. She was always doing something: dishes, folding laundry, calling neighbors, dusting. Her heart, it turns out, was constantly in low-grade overdrive. Not from stress, but from a lack of true rest. We often think of exercise, diet, and medication as the big three of heart health. But there's a fourth pillar: recovery. And that's what Edna had unknowingly ignored. Chronic low-level fatigue raises cortisol, keeps blood pressure slightly elevated, and taxes the heart day after day. It doesn't feel like stress. But biologically, your body doesn't know the difference. That's why scheduled stillness, yes, actual rest, is not laziness. It's medicine. So here's the twist: you can be doing everything right, and still be undermining your heart if you never allow yourself to pause truly. After Edna started practicing 20 minutes of deep breathing and lying down flat daily, not scrolling, not planning, not talking, just being, her dizziness disappeared, her heart rate variability improved, and for the first time in years, she said, "I feel like I'm not running on empty anymore." Your heart needs more than effort. It needs to be exhale. So, what's one moment in your day you could reclaim for true recovery? Comment, "I choose rest," if you believe slowing down can extend your life. Now, in our final segment, we'll bring all 5 hidden heart hazards together, and unveil the identity shift that separates those who merely survive aging from those who thrive through it. Most people think transformation begins with what? What should I eat? What exercise should I do? What food should I avoid? But let me tell you something I've learned after 40 years of watching people succeed, or fail, with their health. What doesn't change you? Who does? You don't rise to the level of your intentions. You fall to the level of your identity. Before you stack healthy habits, you need to ask yourself one powerful question. Who am I becoming? Are you someone who casually wants to be healthier? Or are you the kind of senior who proudly says, "I'm building the strongest heart in my family line. I'm a 1%er, not in wealth, but in well-being. I move, eat, and live like my future depends on it, because it does." Once you define who, the why becomes obvious. Why choose heart-friendly meals? Why swap soda for water? Why walk every day even when it's cold? Because you're no longer just doing health. You're living as a person with a mission. Someone protecting their brain, their blood vessels, and their future. And when that's clear, action follows. That's when compound interest of health starts working for you, not against you. Just like Warren Buffett didn't build his fortune overnight, he also didn't build his strength overnight. The man is 94, still active, still wise, and only recently retired. Why? Because he played the long game. He didn't just invest in stocks. He invested in sleep, nutrition, walking, and moderation. And now, he's reaping the dividends of both wealth and wellness. So ask yourself, my friend. Are you compounding your health like Buffett compounded wealth? Or, are you compounding bad habits, racking up health debt every year? Every soda. Every skipped walk. Every night of poor sleep. That's compound interest in reverse. But today, you can flip the script. Today, you can say, "I'm no longer chasing information. I'm crafting identity. I am the kind of person with a heart built to last." Let this moment be the start of your 1% journey,